I'm Elizabeth Bland Glynn, Chief Operating Officer for Travoy. Today we are going to talk about your state's Qualified Allocation Plan, or QAP. The purpose of today's video is to help you better understand your QAP, suggest how the QAP can help you make decisions, and to offer our help in working to change your state's QAP if it's a barrier to development in your community. First, what is a QAP? The IRS oversees the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program, but delegates much of the work to the states. Each state receives an amount of tax credits based on the state's population and has a competition to award them to developers to build affordable housing. To guide the competition, each state creates a QAP. These are the instructions for the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit application and process. You've heard Brian Schuler, our Vice President for Housing Development, talk briefly about QAPs, but I'm going to go into much more detail now. Whether you are new to the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program or have several developments, the QAP is important for two reasons. It is the guidebook for how to do a project, and it is the document that sets forth each state's low-income housing tax credit priorities. First, let's talk about the rules and regulations. Each state's QAP must include several common elements: a preference for projects serving the lowest income tenants for the longest period, and projects in qualified census tracts. Each QAP must also use selection criteria that include the project location, the characteristics of the sponsor of the project and its tenants, waiting lists, energy efficiency, among other criteria. Each state adds additional criteria to encourage affordable housing development in line with certain policy priorities set by the state. This can include scoring preferences for developments located near schools, libraries, or grocery stores, or for projects that agree to donate some of their developer's fee to a local nonprofit. This is where the second reason you need to pay attention to your state's QAP becomes very important. Your state awards tax credits to developments that meet the QAP requirements and score well in the competition. These scoring preferences I talked about a little bit ago, above and beyond what is required by the IRS, are what really separate the winners from the losers. You want your project to be a winner. The Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program is very competitive. As you know, it is tough to find the money even for very worthwhile projects. And over the years, states are creating more and more criteria to help them determine which projects are best. This is where you come in. You need to make sure your state understands how vitally important affordable housing is to your tribal members, your reservation, your hometown. Your state allocating agency needs to know that a scoring preference for developments located near a grocery store works well for an apartment building downtown, but doesn't work at all for a scattered site development in a rural area. Travoy spends a significant amount of time working with our state agency partners, showing them data and explaining why scoring categories that award points for proximity to services, for example, can disadvantage tribal low-income housing tax credit applicants. Travoy regularly reviews QAPs, and we will keep you informed. But we need your help to make sure your state understands the great need for affordable housing in Indian country. Together, our collective voice will be much stronger. Every year, states must solicit public comments and hold public hearings on their QAP and any proposed changes. This is your opportunity to show the state how important the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program is to your tribe and how it might better meet your needs. This is especially important if your tribe has never gotten an award of tax credits or if your state has never awarded tax credits to a tribal development. This is your chance to educate the state agency and make your voice heard. Better yet, ask other Tribal Housing Authority staff to attend hearings with you or ask your tribal chairman to write a letter in support. Like any governmental agency, hearing from constituents really matters. Let's summarize what we have covered in this video. We talked about what a QAP is. It is the rule book of your state's Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program. Call us if there is something unclear in your QAP or if you want to brainstorm ideas. We talked about how you can use the QAP to make decisions. You might have the ideal project in your mind, but if it doesn't match what is in the QAP, it won't get off the ground. You need to find the intersection of what you want and what is advantaged by the QAP to find the project that will score well. Finally, we talked about what you can do if your QAP is too far removed from your priorities to even find that intersection. Tribes around the country have used Travoy's assistance and organized around issues that ended up making their QAPs better serve tribal projects. Tribes in your state can share and unify around ideas to put forward to the state in QAP comments in public hearings. Travoy wants as much low-income housing tax credit capital as possible to flow to Indian country. Whether that means maximizing our chances under current scoring systems or working to change those scoring systems that hinder development in Indian country, we will be there for our partners. Whether you are a long-time, new, or future client, we are ready to roll up our sleeves and work right alongside you toward those goals. We monitor each state's QAP process throughout the year and advocate for our tribal clients. But like I said before, our voices will be stronger together. If you want to join our efforts, get in touch with us and we will plug you into the effort to bring more low-income housing tax credit capital to Indian country.